Well, I think of martyrs as the other 1%. And what I mean by that is there are those who, because I guess I should preface it by saying there are many people who I could classify in a sense as a martyr without them having been killed or they're alive, you know? Basically, I'm thinking of people who give their lives to the service of humanity, the service of the greater good, who make that sort of sacrifice, like from a Mother Teresa to a Mandela to a Malala. You know, there are individuals who say, I'm dedicating my life to this, and there's great opportunities that I could have to cash in on this and to make money or to do this, but instead I've dedicated my life to the upliftment of humanity. So that's one layer of martyrdom. Of course, within that realm, you have people who make that decision and there's risk involved. And people who are killed in accordance with those choices, like Bhutto out of Pakistan, or like Biko or Thomas Sankara, in Burkina Faso. And those are people who gave their lives, who were involved in politics, or made some decisions to fight for the people, for humanity, for the upliftment of a cause, and were killed because of that decision, right? Then you have the unwilling martyrs, the martyrs who become symbolic representations of a cause or of a movement, and in that sense, you fall in with the Tamir Rices, the Michael Browns, and and all of the people like that we talk about in America, for example, today, that have been martyred by the police, right? And not only by the police, but by violence, gun violence, and like you think of the people that were killed in Charleston, or just any people that are somewhat who are confronted by violence, and then their life is used to represent some sort of cause or movement, or stir some sort of movement so that we can speak up against or through that cause. Then, and the other thing that is also prevalent today, are those who use the idea of being a martyr in order to project violence, right? Those are the people that the media would label as terrorists, and those are the people who misconstrue religious ideology and ancient text into somehow thinking it means that in order for them to bring about some sort of justice, that they need to sacrifice their lives and the lives of those around them in order to make a statement. Wow. And that is the form of martyrdom that I reject, just as I reject the idea of someone needing to be, martyred, like a Martin Luther King was martyred, or, murdered for the sake of our achievement as a community or nation, culture, what have you. And so you'll find that theme, for example, in the song Burundi, where I reference a poem by the Sufi poet Rumi, where he says, I'm a candle, chop my neck 1,000,000 times, I still burn bright and stand. Which is to say that, the modern idea of movement, like in hashtag movements and all of that, what's amazing about, let's say, anything from the Arab Spring to the Occupy movement to Black Lives Matter, is that in fact there is no actual leader. So you can't stop the movement by killing one person, or by chopping off the head of its leader, because everybody's leading in their own way. That's something I like about the evolution of movements in this day and age.